questions that my generations are asking are the following. If I may summarize, it is not understanding how Africa, with so many riches on our soil, with a generous nature of water, abundant sunshine. Africa is today the poorest continent. Africa is a hungry continent. And how is it that we, as heads of state, travel the world begging? These are questions we are asking ourselves, and for which we have no answers so far. We have the opportunity to forge new relationships, and I hope these relationships can be the best to provide a better future for our peoples. My generation also asks me to say that due to this poverty, they are forced to cross the ocean to try to reach Europe. They die in the ocean, but soon they will not cross because they will come to our palaces to seek their daily sustenance. As for Burkina Faso, today we have been facing for more than 8 years the most barbaric, the most violent form of neocolonialism, of imperialism. The slavery that they still tend to impose on us. Our predecessors taught us one thing well. The slave who is not capable of assuming his revolt does not deserve pity for his fate. We do not pity ourselves, and we do not ask anyone to pity us. The Burkinabe people have decided to fight against the terrorists in order to revive their development. In this struggle, brave peoples, courageous populations have committed to taking up arms against terrorism. Those whom we have affectionately called the VDP, the volunteers. We are surprised to see the imperialists label these VDP as militias and all sorts of things. It's disappointing because in Europe, when people take up arms to defend their homeland, they are called patriots. Our grandfathers were deported to save Europe. It was not with their consent, against their will. And well, upon their return, we remember well that in Traoré, when they wanted to claim their basic rights, they were massacred. So it doesn't matter then. When we, the people, decide to defend ourselves, we are labeled as a militia. But that is not the problem. The problem is seeing African heads of state who bring nothing to these people who are fighting, but who sing the same tune as the imperialists by labeling us as a militia, by calling us people who do not respect human rights. What human rights are we talking about? We are outraged by this, and it is shameful. We, African heads of state, must stop behaving like puppets that dance every time the imperialists pull the strings. Yesterday, President Vladimir Putin announced the sending of grains to Africa. We are very pleased. We thank him for that. But also, it is a message sent to our African heads of state, because at the next forum, we should not come here without having ensured for those who do not know war, the food self-sufficiency of our peoples. We must learn from the experience of those who have already achieved this in Africa, build good relationships here, and foster better relations with the Russian Federation to meet the needs of our populations. I may not be long, the allotted time is very short. We are obliged to stop at some point, but I would like to conclude by saying that we must pay tribute to our peoples who are fighting.
Now, before I start this video, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank King.Captain.ib on TikTok for this video. Now, the man you just saw, he's the leader of Burkina Faso. His name is Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Now, people on social media, including YouTube's talking about this man, and basically he's a leader of the country that used to be colonized by the French government. Not anymore. In fact, they already removed the French language out of Burkina Faso. And I'm gonna tell you. I'm explaining to you why I support this brother, and I believe in this brother and the country of Burkina Faso in the second. But the reality is that this brother has shown leadership, and the people believes in him as he believe in them. There's been assassination attempts in his life from the Western powers. And then even the bodyguard even admitted, his bodyguard said that they were offering him $5 million to take out Ibrahim Traoré, but he refuses. Instead, he loves this brother. And so they're mad because he believes in his own people and he does not believe puppets, that the West want to bring as presidents in some African countries. And Ibrahim Traoré believed in Black America. Yes, he loved and supported us as well. He felt that Africa and the diaspora needed to join together to protect this brother from being assassinated or something bad happens to him. And now he reminds me of the president of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, because remember he did the same thing to unite all Africans together. And unfortunately, you know what happened to that. How NATO destroyed Libya, and Muammar Gaddafi is no longer here, and then because of that, slaves is back in the country of Libya. So Ibrahim Traoré said it's not going to happen in Burkina Faso. The thing I love about this brother is how he do anything for his people. He don't bow down to any colonizers or any other Western powers that been put in that country. And that's one thing I love about him. And as a Black man, I'm supporting this brother and the country of Burkina Faso because I believe that we need to set an example of what he stood for his country and his people. And some other African countries are now starting to follow suit and support this behind his brother. So yes, this is the time now that Black Americans support this brother and his leadership, despite the government's I'm trying to get this right. Despite the government's anger towards him or hatred towards him, we all need to come together. No matter if you live in South America, North America, Europe, if you're Blacks like me, if you're Africans, fellow Africans, and here in the diaspora, we need to say we support this brother. Don't do anything to this brother. Let him lead his country the way he want to lead his country. Now I see Donald Trump now wants to do something to this brother, but at the same time, y'all have y'all leadership with Trump. I'm talking about the people on the other side. Some of y'all have leadership in him. We need a leadership like Traoré because at least with him, he didn't care about himself or what the power that be basically making him as a puppet. He believes in his people. He believes in fighting for his people and possibly dying for his people. All he cares about is his own people. And then that's when some Africans need to follow. And like I said, as a Black American, I'm also supporting this brother and the people of Burkina Faso. God bless them. Pray the protection of him and his people of Burkina Faso. And hopefully that we can come and visit the country and seeing what this country is really about. Let me know what you think in the comments.